Urgent message to subscribers. Hey everyone, this channel is still online, but many others are being taken down across YouTube. If that happens here and you want to keep following the reports and revelations, I'll be reactivating my channel on Rumble, under the same name, Geopolitics Update, same colors, same style. Thanks for your continued support. And remember, the revelations aren't held by governments. Since ancient times, beings have always contacted specific groups of people on Earth. Just look at the history of humanity. Global crisis deepens, military movements, political instability, and unexplained phenomena. Welcome to the Geopolitics Update channel. Monday, November 10, 2025. Military activity in the Caribbean continues to draw international attention. Operational reports confirm that U.S. cruisers, destroyers, and other naval vessels have departed Europe and are heading toward the Venezuelan coast. The aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford is also en route, with an expected arrival on November 15. Released footage shows fighter jets in operation and surveillance aircraft actively deployed. U.S. Air Force B-52 bombers were spotted flying over areas near Venezuela, including Aruba, Curacao, and Lake Maracaibo. The aircraft remained airborne for over 2 hours near Venezuelan airspace. In parallel, a newly commissioned nuclear submarine was launched into the Atlantic, with expectations of approaching Venezuela's coast in the coming days. Inside Venezuela, reports indicate air activity from the Bolivarian Air Force, with jets deployed from a Libertador base in Caracas. Electrical fluctuations were recorded across several regions, causing power outages. Local sources suggest these disruptions may be linked to external interference or tactical response tests. On the political front, rumors are circulating about possible negotiations involving Venezuelan officials. Diplomatic sources claim there may be willingness to step down from power in exchange for amnesty and safe exile. The proposal reportedly includes lifting sanctions and cancelling international arrest warrants. Meanwhile, Argentina's judiciary has upheld international arrest orders against senior members of the Venezuelan government. In the U.S., the federal government is facing its longest shutdown in recent history, with more than 30 days without a budget agreement. Flight operations and federal services have been suspended. The deadlock between Republicans and Democrats centers on proposed spending increases, including healthcare assistance for undocumented immigrants. In recent statements, President Trump criticized Congress and reaffirmed his economic agenda, which includes building vehicle factories and AI research centers. He claims the planned investments exceed $17 trillion. And emphasized that technological leadership over China remains a top strategic priority. What seemed like a legislative standoff now reveals a deeper theater of control. In the legal sphere, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a decision requiring passports to reflect biological sex, blocking changes to gender designation on official documents. The ruling sparked debates on identity and public policy, with potential implications for broader institutional reforms. Internationally, the mayor of Miami presented the key to the city to Argentine President Javier Milei, in a symbolic gesture of support. Robert Kennedy announced plans to release new dietary guidelines focused on public health, citing the Make America Healthy Again movement as part of a broader cultural transformation. In New York, questions have emerged about the municipal election process, with allegations of voter ID issues and duplicate names on ballots. The claims are under investigation. Meanwhile, cases of missing women in Juarez, Mexico, continue to be investigated, with suspicions of human trafficking networks. public figures have been summoned by congressional committees to clarify ties to individuals under investigation for international crimes. Intelligence reports suggest links between foundations, NGOs, and parallel political financing structures. In Germany, the traditional Christmas market in Oberhausen was cancelled due to security concerns. Local authorities cited challenges in ensuring adequate protection against potential threats. Analysts interpret the decision as a sign that Europe's institutional climate is beginning to reflect tensions once thought confined to the Western Hemisphere. Institutional instability and strategic movements continue to intensify across multiple regions. In the United States, recent statements from the president reinforced a narrative of economic recovery and national sovereignty. In a public address, he claimed that without his leadership, the country would be in critical condition. He also alleged that foreign interests are attempting to interfere in commercial and legal decisions, especially those related to import tariffs. The presidential agenda includes building factories focused on electric vehicles and artificial intelligence, with investments estimated at $17 trillion. Strategic risk simulations view these initiatives as an effort to consolidate global technological dominance. That was the moment when economic discourse began to blend with symbolism. In the legal sphere, the Supreme Court upheld a decision requiring passports to reflect biological sex, blocking changes to gender designation on official documents. The ruling sparked debates around identity and public policy, with ripple effects in legislative and religious circles. Internationally, Mexican authorities continue investigating the disappearance of women in Juarez, with suspicions of human trafficking networks. Meanwhile, public figures have been summoned by parliamentary committees to clarify ties with individuals under investigation for international crimes. In Germany, the traditional Christmas market in Oberhausen was cancelled due to security concerns. Local officials cited difficulties in ensuring adequate protection against potential threats. Behavioral analysts interpreted the cancellation as a reflection of a broader atmosphere of silent repression. The report also highlights cultural events marking the start of November. Historical references to November 5th resurfaced as symbols of resistance and transformation. The date is cited as a moment of social awakening, focused on truth and institutional transparency. In symbolic circles, this revival is seen not as coincidence, but as part of an unfolding underground narrative. The global geopolitical landscape remains volatile. With ongoing military movements, institutional disputes, and economic reconfigurations, the next developments demand constant attention. Unusual climate and astronomical events triggered weather alerts across various regions. The approach of an extratropical cyclone in the South Atlantic raised concerns among coastal authorities, with forecasts of winds exceeding 60 miles per hour, hail, and high surf. In response, some local governments postponed public events due to the expected intensity. Additionally, strange sounds were reported coming from the sea during the night in coastal zones of different countries. Described as deep rumbling or heavy breathing, the noises were heard by residents in urban and port areas. Maritime authorities confirmed no abnormal vessel activity or mechanical incidents, deepening the mystery around their origin. The trail leads to a new layer. In the astronomical realm, the sky hosted the most intense supermoon of the year. Visible across multiple continents, it displayed a reddish hue attributed to specific atmospheric conditions. NASA issued an alert after detecting changes in the trajectory of Comet 13 Atlas. Initially visible near the Sun, the object shifted course, sparking speculation about its origin. A Chinese probe reportedly captured images of the comet, which showed intense brightness and unconventional behavior. The hypothesis of non-gravitational acceleration raised questions among experts. Tactical analysis systems produced reports suggesting artificial characteristics. That was the moment the sky stopped being just a backdrop. Some observers suggest the object may have a non-natural structure, based on its salted path and bluish glow. While no official confirmation exists, the episode sparked debate about the possibility of moving artifacts in space. Historical and symbolic records, including cave paintings with similar shapes, were also referenced in parallel analyses. Atmospheric and celestial phenomena continue to intrigue observers around the world. Recent reports point to unusual lights in the night sky, with violet-colored luminous points moving silently across urban and rural areas. Simultaneously, auroras were seen at atypical latitudes, linked to intense fluctuations in Earth's electromagnetic field. The curtain rises on a theater of magnetism and silence. Images shared by residents in various countries show cloud formations in unusual colors, shades of yellow, lilac, red, and blue. While visually striking, these occurrences still lack conclusive scientific explanations. In agricultural zones of Europe and Asia, circular crop marks have reappeared, a phenomenon that has long sparked curiosity and speculation. The geometric patterns showed no signs of mechanical intervention, reinforcing the mystery surrounding their origin. In astronomy, Comet 13 Atlas returned to the spotlight after showing further signs of non-gravitational acceleration. Its salted trajectory, captured by space probes, reignited hypotheses about its nature. Some analyses suggest the object may have non-natural features, based on its course change and the bluish glow observed on its surface. And that's where everything converges. The situation remains under observation by international space research centers. The convergence of extreme climate events and unusual astronomical phenomena underscores the need for continuous monitoring and global scientific cooperation. The current scenario points to a period of heightened atmospheric and celestial activity, with potential implications for studies on climate, Earth's magnetism, and orbital dynamics. In reports circulating among sectors where power has no face but sets the rules, the convergence of military movements, institutional collapses, and celestial anomalies is not seen as coincidence, but as choreography. As ships cross the Caribbean and comets shift their paths, what's unfolding is not merely a crisis, it's a transition. A shift in axis. A new code being deployed beneath the visible surface. The lights in the sky, the sounds in the sea, the closed markets, and the suspended trials. All of it, according to intelligence sources, forms a mosaic of signals. For those who know where to look, the pattern is clear. They are redrawing the board. And this time, the game will no longer be played with the same pieces. End of the report, folks. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join the conversation in the comments. If you'd like to support us directly, consider making a donation using the link in the description or the QR code on screen. Your contribution helps us work better, and keeps this project alive and independent. Thank you so much. And see you in the next report. This content is a narrative adaptation based on public topics of global geopolitics. The version presented has been transformed with an original style, drawing on public information, analyses, and opinions, and its sole purpose is to inform and entertain.